broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah, we didn't have that Polynesian.
This would be a good song to rap over.
Cathy Kelley on the mic.
Cathy Kelley, la 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 la. So
That's not how rapping works.
No, you had the perfect setup to
Hello,
drop.
everyone, and welcome to another after show for NXT right here on AfterBuzz. I'm Cathy Kelley, the greatest rapper of all time. Sitting next to me, Mark Donica.
I'm not sitting next to you.
Sitting next, like, general vicinity of
There
me.
you go. Hi.
Mark Donica.
Hi, I'm the internet soapbox Mark Donica. You follow me on Twitter at soapboxmark. Use the hashtag ABTVNXT, as well as being in the live chat, because I'm going to be in the live chat, and we're going to talk and have a good time and make predictions at the end of the show for NXT TakeOver London.
Yes, you will. And sitting next to you is Bill.
Oh!
Hi, everybody.
You tried really hard for that one. Bill!
I'm very happy. I feel very loved.
You are.
Aw. Oh, thanks, buddy. I'm really happy to be back. I'm Bill Hanstock. You can follow me on Twitter at SundoMotel. Make sure to tweet at me and make my phone buzz a lot, like AfterBuzz.
Hey.
And you can check me out online, cagesideseast.com,
Check 'em out.
SBNation.com/wrestling, and Rudo Radio is my weekly wrestling podcast.
Do it.
Works.
And my IMDb page now recommends that I'm known for 4 different movies. So,
Oh,
I got a little
hello.
known for thing now. I found
That's
that out
great.
today.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
It's a fun
exciting.
new
But do
feature.
you have a Wikipedia page?
No, but you do.
Which Bill informed me of. I already knew about it.
It has like a personal life section
It has
where it's
some
like
stuff that I
Cathy loves.
didn't even know about
Cathy
myself.
loves horses on Snapchat.
Do you?
I do, but
Yeah.
that's a revelation that I think I just had right now,
I
like a
swear
millisecond
to
ago.
God, I'm not the person updating your Wikipedia page.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't swear.
Bill thinks
Do you
he's an
love horses
ex-boyfriend.
though?
I like them.
Do you like unicorns better?
I like unicorns much better.
Who doesn't like unicorns?
Oh, probably that meanie Baron Corbin.
Frickin' Baron
He just
Corbin.
likes shrunken heads and cat skeletons.
Yeah.
This isn't Breaking Ground, which
He'd
you can watch live on the
probably
AfterBuzz.
bottle a unicorn skeleton if he could.
He's like Voldemort.
Did you say
Yeah.
bottle a unicorn skeleton?
Like the
Yeah,
ashes
like you
of
put
it.
it.
Bottle it? Like can it? Like preserves?
And then wear it as a necklace. Like
No,
a
I
tiny
meant-
bottle.
I thought it was something like a pirate ship model. Like in a bottle.
Anyways.
Oh shoot! You build the unicorn. Oh, how'd they get the unicorn in there?
NXT, you guys
That's what I do.
Yeah.
started
Did it?
off the show. Cass and Enzo coming to the ring with Carmella. They were facing Corey Hollis and John Skyler tonight.
Disagree. They were facing
Who?
Dash and Dawson Jr.
Whoa.
Lil Dash and Lil Dawson.
Lil D.
Dash and Dawson
Dash and
2.0.
Dawson babies.
Little D's.
Yeah.
They came out and I immediately laughed at how they were just little baby versions of Dash
They're
and
just a
Dawson.
little bit shorter.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was pretty great.
that was funny.
So you can teach them how to be Dash and Dawson?
Oh, and they actually
Yeah,
did
you
do
can't
flips.
teach
You
that.
can teach that.
Yeah.
And-
Performance Center's just gonna like it's an assembly line of like Dash and Dawson like lookalikes like falling into boxes. Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh. I like
Powerhouse.
I like Looney Tunes.
Powerhouse.
But they do not last that long. Air Enzo for the win.
Right.
We got a super serious promo from them by the
Well,
end.
yeah, after the match, this was one of the most passionate I think we've ever seen them. We're used to them being kind of tongue-in-cheek and rhyming much better than I can. And Enzo just gets on the mic after the match and says, "You take out my tag team partner, you jeopardize his future, you jeopardize our future. We can walk it like we talk it when we're blindfolded. We know where we are and where we're going." And then Cass says, "At TakeOver in London, we will get retribution. We will walk out the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Very, very passionate, very fired up promo from both guys.
Yeah,
Really,
I felt it.
Yeah, really exhibits like how special Big Cass is.
Got the
He's so
goosebumps.
good. He's so good. But I do not want to let this segment go away without us discussing Enzo's hilarious lower half this week.
Okay.
Because he had the big, like...
He had his, like...
They were like the Everlast shorts.
Yeah.
But they're so...
I was going to say basketball shorts, yeah.
They looked like culottes. Like he was wearing culottes, and then like he had the tights on, so it was like real big contrast between like tiny tights legs and big culottes. I love Enzo to death, but it was hilarious.
Did anybody get kind of a Healy vibe from them tonight because of how serious
a
they
little
were?
bit. There was one point in the ring where I really just remember Cass yelling at one of the two mini Dash and Dawsons, and it looked kind of heelish. It did.
And
Enzo did the same thing,
shouting orders at Cass to like take him down and stuff like that.
And Enzo just being adamant, like we're taking the tag team belts, and then a drop kick right to the mush of baby Dash or Dawson.
That was a sweet mush kick.
Yeah,
it was pretty great.
He's got the steel toes for your nose.
I believe it though. I believe everything that they're doing, everything that they're saying, and I really want them to win.
Do you believe it because they're the realest guys in the room?
They're pretty real.
Damn real.
Can you teach that?
No.
I don't think you can.
It's not something that can be taught or learned in a book?
You can't teach that.
I tried Rosetta Stone for that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Rosetta Stone, like how to not speak soft.
Exactly. And we didn't get the like. That's another thing is they didn't give the fans the satisfaction of queuing them up for soft. There was like no time for that. We just want to beat people up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after this segment, we go backstage. Tom Phillips is there with Dana Brooke and Emma. Tom asks Emma, "Are you ready for Asuka at TakeOver?" Emma responds, asking why Asuka has had the red carpet just rolled out for her since she's gotten to NXT. She said the revolution started with the Emma-lution, and at TakeOver, the Emma-lution will be the solution.
Ooh, more rhymes.
Wordplay.
Yeah.
This was a great promo until Dana Brooke opened up her mouth.
Nope, it's still great.
I
better.
like Dana Brooke this week. It's taking something that I don't think she expected to work, the pats on the head, and changing it into something that's actually I enjoy. Like
she made
she
Tom
was like,
Phillips get down.
Tom, get down.
Yeah.
You're too tall.
Yeah.
If she had said it authoritatively, as opposed to like, "Oh, this is unexpected," could you lower like?
No, I thought it was
okay. All right.
I mean,
that's
I'm an
me.
unapologetic Dana Brooke huge fan. So.
Apologize.
Nope.
That was a
Never.
Phil Brooks reference. But I thought Emma's if the promo had ended where Emma had let it end, that would have been strong enough for me of her going into Sunday.
Do they always have to be together? I get that they're like friends that are kind of working together, but do they always have to be together? I don't understand that
I think they always
aspect.
have to be together just because I feel like they're gonna try and gang up on Asuka at TakeOver.
They are, but then it's that much more unexpected if they're not together in every single promo leading up to it. We've already seen that happen. We've seen Emma try to help Dana. We've seen Dana try to help Emma.
Well, here's the problem you have if you don't always have them together is if Emma is going into a match with Asuka, you have to get Dana Brooke onto every episode. So I mean, kill two birds with one stone.
Because when
people are
don't
off,
kill birds.
When Dana Brooke is off camera, other people should be asking, "Where's Dana Brooke?" And also Eva Marie, where are they?
Where is Eva Marie?
She was here this week. I'm so excited. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We will talk about that. But first, we get to talk about.
I like Dana Brooke. And
No.
He's just over here stewing.
No. I'm looking. I'm reading chat. Yeah. No, that's fine. We've said it time and time again. I have been a fan of her previously, but they're trying to sell it seems like they want Emma and Asuka to be a serious match where it's becoming where I feel like it's becoming a little bit more comedic with Dana.
That's fair.
And if Dana has been making it lighter when it should be more serious.
Well, I think that...
Especially after suffering from head trauma due to this person.
Well, serious answer, NXT audience, Full Sail crowd hates Dana, so it's easier
That's not entirely true. There is a Dana Brooke section.
Right, but I think it's easy. I think it's less likely that people will cheer Emma 50-50 with Asuka if Dana's always around.
Fair enough.
What? Wait, no, go back.
I said, is that the Brooke side?
Oh, I get it. Because it's Dana Brooke, and also that's the name of a... Okay, we'll move
Robbie
on.
Brookside, he's from the UK.
Asuka versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Yep.
Returning Deonna.
Who is not signed.
Nope.
She is still
She is
independently
still
wrestling.
sponsored by Ferrari.
She's a
apparently.
shim. A shim.
There was an
Isn't she from
awkward
Shimmer?
time on
yes.
commentary when I think Corey Graves or someone set it up for Byron to talk about New Jersey, saying that Deonna was from there, and then just silence.
Well, they'd already talked about Jersey with Liv Morgan, or maybe that was just us last week.
It was it was
There's a lot of people from Jersey.
A and B, and then also
they're only
Cass.
now they're only allowed to bring women in from Australia or New Jersey.
I know they
That's
go
it.
through like waves
Those
of
are their
people like,
territories.
oh, we have to get more women in, so they have this influx of female wrestlers come in. Then they want more tag teams, so they start
It's-
building tag teams. Now it's like, oh, we need more people from Jersey,
It's
so let's
just-
just build up our Jersey roster.
It's just like back in the 70s when people would go to Florida and work for Eddie Graham, and then they'd run through the territory, so then they'd send him up to New York. It's exactly the same.
Now
They've
it's like,
run through New Jersey.
we want
Exactly the same.
Australians,
Exactly the same.
Jersey,
Yeah.
Lance Storm graduates.
Those are the three territories that exist.
Yep, pretty much. So this match, mid-match, Dana and Emma come out to the ramp. Deonna tries to capitalize, but Asuka is just too fast, kicks her right in the face,
Straight in the face.
and knocks her out.
This made Asuka. I mean, she was already somebody to be feared, but this was. I like when they take the distraction angle and flip it on its ear, in the right way.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a spot for an unsigned person too. It's like, all right, kid, why don't you go out there and see if you can impress us enough? The finish is Asuka kicks all your teeth out.
But do I get any offense in? You know what? I'll take it.
We'll let Asuka call it in the ring.
Damn it. Ooh, almost let it slip. Yeah, it was good.
Does NXT offer dental insurance?
I would hope so.
Yeah, but she's not signed.
Oh,
Right.
that's unfortunate.
That's what she's hoping for. That's why she keeps saying yes to
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you can kick him out. I'll get him replaced once I
Kick
get
half of them out this week, kick them half out next taping, and then,
a beautiful smile for the rest of my life.
But overall, definitely a great build up for these two coming up next week at TakeOver.
Agreed.
Backstage, we have the Hype Bros, extra hyped,
making a lot of poop jokes.
making some number 2 references, and they say, talking about Blake and Murphy, that they're going to take them on a ride. Those two have fast pass tickets for the Hype Rider.
Little Disney World shout out there since they're in Florida. Good stuff, good times.
Yeah.
You know it.
And then we immediately get a response from Blake and Murphy and Alexa backstage.
They're all in Freddy Krueger gear.
They've worn that before.
No, they
Have
haven't.
they?
Yeah,
No.
to
this
the
is-
ring.
No, this is their first
Then
appearance,
how-
but they
I've
tweeted
seen
about
it.
it.
Oh,
They
I thought-
tweeted
Yeah,
about it.
Because they started, so when
I know I've
Alexa,
seen that
Alexa
before.
tweeted
when
it
their
out.
faction all got together, they were wearing like the Misfits inspired stuff, and then they moved into just all the Iron Man gear and
I
matching
love
Iron
the
Man
French
gear.
braids though. As like much as people hated them, I
No,
loved it.
those are great.
It was
But the
awesome.
Freddy Krueger gear, she even has a new Freddy Krueger glove.
No, she's had that.
No,
that.
she's had the glove, but it had blades on the fingers this week, which is new. It was before it was just the skeleton.
I thought it was full fingers.
It at least had like Freddy Krueger like mesh under it.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different this week.
Just really quickly, Zeno
Stood out
Hour in
more.
chat. Asuka won by murder.
Yes, via murder. Your winner.
It's a new decision.
Your winner via homicide.
They only kill people in Chikara though, so they can't.
And Lucha Underground. Spoilers.
Oh, true.
What the hell is it?
Spoilers for
haven't-
season 1.
Oh,
midway
well,
through
yeah,
season
okay.
1.
Eh.
Anyways,
R.I.P.
Blake
Bio.
and Murphy. Alexa says she blames Blake and Murphy for failing to win last time, and this is one of the first times where we actually hear Blake and Murphy talk since Alexa joined them. But I love this whole interaction of them being like, babe,
Come on,
don't
babe."
me.
Come on, babe.
I forgot he was Australian. I know that he is, but I forgot that he would have an accent. Go figure.
We had an Australian here for 3 months, and you forget that Australian people have Australian
Crikey!
accents. There it
You
is.
don't say. No.
I don't say that.
I'm
Neither do they.
I'm gonna pound these guys into Vegemite and spread them on my toast.
Perfect.
They say, consider the hype bros broken. And then
I get it.
Alexa says, Bamf is back.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
I got that.
Yeah.
These were two solid promos. I liked Mojo seemingly had a custom
Bromos?
stay hype. Yeah, I did that. Mojo had a custom stay hyped hat, which I kind of wish that they sold. Except,
Give it time.
yeah, it'll happen. But it kind of made me forget that Zach and Mojo, like the storyline from Breaking Ground, where they're like, oh, we're having problem meshing together. Cause like there was a couple things that Mojo was doing,
And now they have mesh, so...
now they're mashing. I'm sorry, but these worked for me,
Yeah.
and it was a good quick setup for a match that didn't have too much of a build to it, except for being the fallout to the 6-person match.
I'm excited for
weeks
them.
ago.
Yeah.
I liked it.
When Mojo started making number 2 jokes, I was like, this is about to be the worst thing ever. But then the whole point of the promo was like, Mojo is obnoxious, and Zack Ryder like just sort of has to like be the one who
They're
continually
the yin
reins
and
him
yang,
in.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not that yinny and yangy.
No.
It's weird.
They're more like
Zach
both on the
being,
spectrum of being a bro.
It's weird Zach being the straight man in the situation.
Yes,
Like trying to
yeah.
reel someone else in when
Yeah.
he's
The dude who sings to Justin Bieber
Long
walking
Island
out to the ring.
IZ. Yeah. But we get promo. Elias Sampson singing.
Yes. So
Singing his song.
just singing his mournful song in the stairwell as he does.
Elias is singing.
At one point, there was a shot of him, like his lower half of his face, as they show singing, and like just a puff of smoke comes up.
And no,
Like,
no, and you know that I would like to think that they recorded that like in a studio, and then like the wild shots of that where they like at the close up, you just hear the
right
of the smoke machine.
But it just made me realize, like, how effective a gimmick would it be if they had an NXT person who comes to the ring like vaping?
Ooh.
Such heat.
I
Well,
think that's what
maybe not.
that's what Corey Graves would have evolved into if he went up to the main roster.
Absolutely.
Dude, how to get instant heat. Bring one of those hoverboards to the ring. I'm just waiting for New Day to do that.
No, that would be good for Angelo Dawkins.
Or the
if
Hype
he
Bros.
puts the backpack back on and zzz. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
But just imagine like a heel though coming out to the ring, and he's got one of those iPhone cases that's also a vape pen.
Well, if you want to
Only if
learn
you can
more
blow
about
smoke rings.
if you want to learn more about those hoverboards, why don't you check out the Not Sam podcast where Cathy Kelley talked to Sam Roberts about how those.
Oh, that's
are
actually
stupid.
his serious show.
That's
but
the serious show.
He put a clip of it on his YouTube.
It's very
I
funny.
wasn't getting to that, but yeah.
That's
Check
right.
it out.
I was trying to help.
Don't be confused about the serious show and the not serious show.
Yeah. Serious show and then the wrestling podcasts are different.
This is for Sam Roberts hoverboard, and be mad.
Shout out to Sam.
Always.
He needs a little rub.
He's not popular. Yeah, we're gonna finally get that guy over.
Yeah, it'll happen.
So after this Elias Sampson promo, we get the Hype Bros versus Blake and Murphy.
I sure do.
Mojo Rowley just sees
Bouncing.
dancing like at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was.
Well, he does
It was
that. He
great.
does that at the live events.
So hype.
They were really, the commentary was really like, Corey Graves was so upset about it.
He's good at being like mildly perturbed at what
he's
happens
good.
in the ring,
He's really good.
and just taking to that extra.
If only like JBL on Raw would do stuff like Corey Graves does.
Like
That'd be
actually
fun.
say things that people are thinking.
Yeah, and like be heelish but
Michael.
justified in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where there's a sliver of truth to everything.
Instead of just being like, I want Tex for lunch, but he wants Max. What do you think we should do, Mago?
Yeah,
This reminds
Bagel.
me. This reminds me when Harley Race won a Tex-Mex down in 1973 for the NWA Championship. Michael.
I really think that Corey Graves is so talented as
He's
a commentator.
fantastic.
Like, he was such a great wrestler, but he is that as a commentator as well.
I feel like this is, honestly, I think that this is his calling, and it like happened like accidentally, basically.
I mean,
tragically.
I personally
out of a
think
bad
he
situation.
would have been incredible as a main roster talent even, but to see him in this role, he's focusing all of his talents on there, and it is so right.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to see more of Inked and
Yeah.
what's the other one that he does? Culture
Superstar
Shock.
Inc. Yeah.
Culture Shock too.
Yeah.
He's just a good
More
personality.
brony fests and whatever else.
They already did it. It's good.
And I think that before we forget about it, we should mention that this week was completely devoid of Tanner Brennan.
Oh,
Alex.
Sorry, Alex Brennan.
Yes.
No, it's
Alex Brennan. Rich Brennan's brother.
half brother, twice removed.
Shout out to Alex for listening last week.
Yeah, that was fun. We got called out. Whoops.
Isn't that the point of this show? to
Yes,
get
that's
called
100%.
out?
Please, more NXT wrestlers that
No,
watch the show.
no whoops, more like cha-ching.
Well, no, because I think Mojo just retweets most things that are related to him, so I don't know if he actually watches or not, but I know a couple people that do. Hi, everybody. We love you, and we miss you.
My mom watches sometimes.
See, that's what I mean.
Oh, sweet.
Parents.
Yes.
Yep.
When is she going to make her Performance Center debut?
Next week.
I don't know, but she's made her AfterBuzz TV debut several times.
Those are some of my favorite shows is when your mom's in town.
There's one where she's sitting on the couch as our special guest, just knitting the entire time.
But she
So-
still contributed, though, which
Yeah.
is great. That was a lot of
So
fun.
sad I missed
contributed.
that. She's senior Kathy's mom correspondent.
Yeah. Very, very rare position.
This match, though, Hype Bros ended up winning it. Is that what you guys expected going into TakeOver?
I don't know if I expected it, but it makes a lot of sense that... Because are we going to do predictions in a minute?
We're
Yeah,
going
we
to.
will.
Yeah, just spoiler for my predictions here. I feel like Enzo and Cass aren't going to beat Blake and Murphy for the titles, so I feel like building the Hype Bros up to be the next unsuccessful face team to challenge for the titles before Gable and Jordan finally storm the castle and rule the entire
Wait,
world.
Enzo and Cass aren't going to beat Blake and Murphy for the titles?
No, aren't going to beat
What?
the
Dash and
Dawson.
Yeah, sorry.
This is what he's
Okay.
saying.
Sorry. They're all just names.
So many
It's just
tag
names.
teams.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
So
tag teams.
if the opening match featured Dash and Dawson Jr., Dash and Dawson babies, I feel like Blake and Murphy are kind of like Dash and Dawson Senior. Like if there's a Matryoshka doll, like a Russian nesting doll of
You're pulling a lot of
tag
culture out
teams,
today.
I feel like you would
Are
open
you
up.
just doing that based on size?
You would open up Blake and Murphy, and there would be Dash and Dawson
Because
inside.
Dash and Dawson are nothing personality-wise like Blake and Murphy to
Okay.
me. And who's their Alexa? Duh. Or is she's just small but fierce, and so the smaller one is just so minuscule that you can't see
yeah.
No, the camera's just above her head.
It's clear that Dash and Dawson's Alexa is those sweet ass satin jackets.
They tell them what to do.
Ironically enough, I think that Alexa used to be paired with Dawson back in the day. Before he got hurt, he was in a tag team, and I forget, maybe it was with Dash. I think it might have been with someone else. But Alexa was paired with them as like this southern people group.
This
no.
southern people.
That
group.
was early mechanics. I think it wasn't Wilder yet.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was pre-TV, so I don't know
Yeah.
if
So-
anyone would know that other than if you went to a live event or you really, really followed NXT.
Since I brought up Dash and Dawson for no reason, I just want to point out that like at this year's WrestleMania Access, the NXT booth was like super popular all weekend long. But there was an early session one day where Dash and Dawson were at that booth, and they
You gotta
had
be kidding me.
what?
No, go ahead. No, continue. Just keep
wanna
going.
hear what
No,
you're-
just keep going.
okay.
Please keep going.
And there was and they hadn't really been Dash and Dawson on NXT TV yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd even debuted. I didn't know who they were. And they were at that booth, and there were like maybe 10 people in line. And it was the shortest line I'd seen all weekend. And I went up and I talked to them for a minute. But I just think it's awesome that since WrestleMania, they're now the champions.
And Dawson, we've had several people that we've interviewed from NXT, and every single person said that he was the most underrated, underutilized talent at
person
the
that they
Performance Center.
couldn't wait to get on TV so the fans could see them. Funny thing, you mentioned that session of WrestleMania Access because that's when we interviewed them.
Oh, that's
and it's
cool.
one of my favorite interviews.
That's awesome.
You
Because
were one of the 10 people in line.
we were. We saw the short line and we were like,
Oh, you just waited in the line?
No. We were like we had our
Yeah,
media
yeah.
dude with us, and he was like, I mean, that's the NXT booth, but
Right.
so we could either take you there or we could take you to
Right.
AJ Lee or Christian, and we're like,
NXT.
That's Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Can we go with them?
I was doing the same thing, but there were actually access, so like you could like do the media thing where you like get to talk to them, or you could wait in line just as a mark.
Yeah.
And there were a couple people that I waited in line for that weekend, and Dash and Dawson were one of them just because the line was so short.
Yeah.
I didn't have any questions for them because I didn't know who they were at that time. That's what I'm
Blasphemy.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I, as a media person who's a big NXT fan, didn't know who they were at WrestleMania. Now they're the tag team champs. That's really amazing.
I was really, really lucky to see Dawson, and I want to say he was with Jason Jordan or something, or maybe he was in a match against him, but this was gotta be like 3 years ago at SummerSlam in LA when they had that Access show outside of Staples Center. And it was pre him getting injured and then being off the roster for a while, but he was definitely by far just one of the best talents in the ring.
My favorite thing about our interview was that we didn't have a chance to introduce us. Like Hobo went and he had his coat turned
Hobo's
on.
sick this
Hobo's
week.
sick. That's why he's not here. But he had his coat on, and as he was sitting down, they just went. They just started because they're like, nobody's here. We're gonna have some fun. Let's talk to these guys.
That's great.
And I never got an official introduction. The interview just kind of started. I had to scramble to get the camera on, and it's so good.
That's awesome.
So good.
Check it out. youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. But we should get back to the show.
Should we? We'll talk more about them in
we can
predictions.
just keep reminiscing about
We
that
will.
awesome weekend.
We have Samoa Joe and Corbin.
Samoan Joseph.
Samoan Joseph.
Samoan Joseph and Corbin in a promo. Corbin, what does he call Cruz? An overhyped indie guy or something like that.
He went back to his well
inexperienced-
of you haven't proved anything. You're just an indie guy.
Yeah. Which
is such a great drum to beat.
From all the NXT fans especially who are fans of other promotions.
Yeah, so good.
And then they both said that Finn and Apollo Crews will be lucky if they even make it to London after their match tonight.
I personally feel like the last few weeks, like in my opinion, is the best that Samoan Joseph has ever been on the mic. Like he's just been so motivated over the past few months, and he's incredible right now.
Yeah.
He's just like off the chart. Like I've
wanted to see him as a heel for a minute.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've loved Samoa Joe since 2003 or so, like ROH days, but I've never really been a fan of what he does on the mic. But he's just been so good lately, and I love this promo.
Do you think that that's a product of him just getting comfortable with his character, or them having specific regimens for promo class and the room where they have where you can just watch yourself on the camera?
I don't
do promos yourself.
I don't presume to know like Joe's motivations or like the mechanism, but what it seems like, what it feels like, is that Joe's having a good time and he's comfortable now and he's liking where things are going.
It seems like it's coming from a semi-real place too. That's the best promos.
Yeah, it just feels natural, and it feels like he believes what he's saying, and it's great. And Joe, I'm
I say
super
the same
into what
thing
he's
for
doing.
Corbin.
Yeah.
Because the past couple of weeks he's just been
You've been a fan of his since 2003. and
exactly.
Back when he was doing Broadway's with CM Punk.
That triple threat match that he had with Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles back in TNA was amazing. But I couldn't imagine him. I think that was even pre-NFL for them. Either way.
He was a little baby.
He was a little boy junior. Seeing his progress on Breaking Ground and seeing stuff like back from their recent tour, hello.
I'm just imagining pictures of Baron Corbin in 2003. And he's
he's a
like with
baddie.
his grade school, and it's like one of those huge pics of like 20 kids, and then there's just this 6 foot tall child.
Like in his gear, in his ring gear.
It's like the Addams Family
Slicked back
Values
wet
cover.
hair.
He's like the lurch
He's
in
just
the background.
angry. Everyone else is smiling, like, and
Like
he's just
Apollo Crews.
yeah.
He's just happy to be here.
Peyton Royce versus Bailey. Peyton gets her full entrance this week.
She has a character now.
Flower.
She has a flower.
I thought it was channeling Poison Ivy.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
So her new character is that she controls foliage and vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to come into play later. I'm looking forward to her finishing hold, tangling someone in vines.
Well, she
Or in the
uses her
ropes.
Yeah, she has
legs
her
in
long
the
legs.
ropes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever.
It works for her. It fits.
And I think that they are kind of recognizing how big of a subculture comic books are, and they're utilizing that with Adrian Neville. They're utilizing that with Stardust and the
With
whole
Finn
feud
Balor
that they
to a
had.
certain extent.
Yeah, and
Alter
this
ego.
is just another, whether she came up with it or creative came up with it. It's cool to see integrated into wrestling.
And her the full extension choke in the corner was gross and in the best possible way.
How does she even get in the ring? Like, I feel like her one
Well, it took
misstep
her a
of a
while
leg,
this
it was
week.
like,
Yeah.
whoa, your legs are just everywhere.
Like Emma's old ring entrance.
Peyton Crazy Legs Royce.
I thought it was, oh no, Billie Kay has longest legs in
Oh,
NXT.
it's not even Peyton
Maybe
Royce?
both of them are. Do they have the same music? Are they?
They do.
They're both Australian.
Yeah.
They
Well,
both have
I
long
remember
legs.
one of them has like the kick like through the turnbuckles.
That's
like,
Peyton.
That's Peyton.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, she did the also there was a move where she just had one leg up, pressing Bailey up against the turnbuckle.
Yeah, that's the
No,
gross one.
Yeah, yeah. They should call it. They
disgusting.
should really
Whoa.
call it. I really hope they call it the leg up. And then they do the
Oh,
call
Vine Whip.
Yeah, leg whip,
Vine Whip.
vine whip.
Yeah, this is just straight up Pokemon. Then she uses Razor Leaf and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about my butt.
Pokemon references.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Sweet.
I ruined the flow.
This match.
Thank you.
It's okay.
I guess we could talk about this now, but I really believe, and I'm sure you guys have the same sentiments, but they're really trying to establish the newer girls, and we're seeing that a lot more, especially in the last few weeks, because I believe that Bailey will be going up to the main roster in very early 2016. It seems like all roads are going to that, and they're kind of at this crossroads where they had their 4 horsewomen, or 3 out of the 4 of them, go up to the main roster. They hadn't really built a lot of people as formidable opponents until maybe the last month, and now we have a solid female division with Nia Jax, who could potentially take the title at TakeOver. Yes. And Alexa Bliss, and the list goes on with Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Dana Brooke, Emma, Asuka,
Carmella,
Carmella.
Eva Marie,
And Eva Marie.
Dana Brooke.
We said Dana.
Okay.
She was one of the first. Hey, it's okay.
Well, she deserves to be mentioned twice.
Well,
Self
you
Dana.
actually just gave me a great idea. Like, they should 100% move Bailey up. If anything, like,
I think Bailey's dropping the title to Nia at TakeOver.
I don't. But here's something that you can do that will mirror what happened when we got the realization of how wonderful the women's division was. Is you have Nia. You don't have Nia defeat her. You have Nia beat her, and lose by disqualification, and beat Bailey into the ground to where she has to take time off, and as a result, she has to drop the NXT Women's Championship. So we have a tournament, much like we did with Charlotte, and when Paige went up to the main roster. So that way we can get. We've been getting a lot of excellent tournament
but then
matches.
if she's injured, she can't go straight up to the main roster.
She won't. Which will make her surprise return, or her surprise show up in a couple of months.
Whoa.
That much greater, and she gets
But
the chance.
2 months off, I don't think that she would want to do that.
I don't either, but I mean, we're long away from Sandman being blinded and not going outside for
I mean,
a
that
couple
would just
months.
get a huge pop.
Exactly,
though.
and we would also get the opportunity to see these women work one-on-one with each other instead of working against the Shimmer Girls. No offense to them, they're wonderful workers, but it's not like the 20-minute matches that we would get between Sasha and Bayley or Charlotte.
I don't mind if I would rather see them use other talent like the Shimmer Girls than have talent that they're trying to build eventually lose repeatedly in female match or in these matches and then have to rebuild them, you know?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Because I think that's what they did when they had a smaller roster down at NXT with the guys as well. They would have them, you know, in these matches and they would lose and they would job and whatever. And then you have to completely repackage them. But the NXT crowd is smart and they don't always get on board with it. It's harder to repackage a Jason Jordan or a Chad Gable or someone who went through that.
All right, fair enough.
Just real quick, have you guys heard Ric Flair's recent comments from his podcast about Charlotte and WrestleMania 32?
No. That is the most recent podcast now.
He says that he's heard 2 possibilities for Charlotte for WrestleMania 32.
Okay.
Why is he leaking creative, like...
He doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's like, fire me, I'm already fired. He has heard either Sasha Banks or Bayley. So, all right.
See, I was about to say a really outrageous claim of Bayley entering the Royal Rumble and winning and going all the way to WrestleMania.
Well, that's obviously the most likely thing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I want to
That'll
see...
be her surprise appearance.
I want to see Bayley versus Brock. But go on.
What?
Poor Brock. Poor Brock.
Hug Brock City.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hug
gosh.
Flex City.
I want to see 2 women's matches on the WrestleMania 32 card, whether it's, you know, higher up on the card and then a pre-show match or something. I think
it's pretty likely that will happen. I think that we will get a Divas Championship match and also a multi-Divas match at WrestleMania. Write that down.
That will make me so happy. And a lot of people say that I talk about the women too much, but
No, that's not true.
Who cares?
I also talk about cupcakes and developmental too much.
And horses.
No, that's Snapchat.
So after this match, Bayley ends up doing a Bayley to belly for the win, and after the match is when Nia Jax and Eva Marie come out, and this,
so good.
Whew. So much heat. Holy moly.
She's the best. Eva Marie, I mean.
Nia Jax is the best.
Yes.
Nia, I'm going to mark out over her for a second. But
Nia's
I think
great.
She is the future of not just the women's division down at NXT, but she is the future of the women's division on the main roster.
The future of this business, man.
She is the future of this business.
I understand.
It's not just her look that it's different, it's her personality. I think we've seen a lot of
whole
that
presentation.
on Breaking Ground is like what a character she is on the show and then how much she cares about other people and how passionate she is about training. She is the total package.
Yeah. This is a good example of what I was talking about earlier. Well, I mean, it's the best example of what I was talking about earlier with like the whole like, this is why you keep Dana around so that Emma isn't like 50-50 with Bayley or with Asuka for cheers, but people are already starting to love Nia just because she's everything that you said she is, and it's clear.
She's
but it's
everything.
Like,
she
yes,
has it.
Queen, yes.
If Nia just comes out by herself to trash talk Bayley, it's not at all the same thing as Eva Marie standing next to her. Like Nia Jax being like, "This is my person I'm aligned with." So I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many boos would she get if she ends up taking the title from Bayley, winning, not clean, but with Eva Marie getting involved at TakeOver? Yeah. Bayley is by far the most over babyface, not just of females, but of males. Yeah, anyone in the WWE, arguably other than Sami Zayn when he was around. But if Nia Jax, or if anyone won against Bayley, they're gonna get booed. But to get booed because Eva Marie was involved, that's just gonna be. Whew.
I believe the term is nuclear or
Nuclear heat.
X-Pac.
Nuclear.
Nuclear X-Pac heat.
Nuclear heat.
Yep.
It's an even higher level that I never knew existed.
I'm sure you guys have discussed this before, but I don't believe that X-Pac heat exists.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Yeah. So okay, good.
I'm using the internet terminology against
good,
them.
good. Yeah, you're. It's a satire.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like this guy.
5 out of 5.
Before we get to the main event, we get a promo or a segment from Finn Balor and Apollo Crews. Apollo walks up and he's like, "Yo, Finn, bro.
I've been trying to call you all week.
I've been trying to call you, and you didn't respond to any of my calls or my text messages. What you doing? You trying to avoid me, Finn?"
I was sliding up in your DMs.
And Finn was like, no.
Okay.
Overly attached Apollo Crews.
What I want us to do is I want us to go around the table and everyone cut your best short Apollo Crews blood feud promo, by which I mean you have the biggest smile and the happiest voice and say the meanest thing that you can about your opponent.
I just feel like in this segment, Apollo was a mix between Adele and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah.
That meme.
Overly attached ex
Oh,
girlfriend.
yeah.
She's actually really nice. Crazy eyes, but very nice.
Yeah.
Much like Apollo. Crazy eyes, but very nice.
I just love that Apollo Crews. I mean, Apollo Crews is great, but I just love that he's like in this like really like intense, passionate feud right now, and he's like, "Baron Corbin, I hate your guts.
Hey,
I'm
man.
gonna stomp you into the dirt, man."
I was really disrespected
Yeah.
that you didn't call me back after all those times I was trying to get in contact with you to talk about strategy, how we could just move forward in this feud and win against Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin, and we're gonna defeat them, and it's gonna be so dangerous, but we're gonna do it, and you didn't call me back. What happened?
And then we're gonna be best friends.
You know, I love that.
What happened, Finn Balor? Why don't you call me?
Well, I mean, let's be fair. If we all
that what
knew,
we're doing now?
If we all knew Finn Balor in real life, we would be trying to call him all.
Let me get on that Lego Millennium Falcon business, bro.
Seriously. Like, oh, Finn, why didn't you call me back? I just sent you all those text messages about how I just wanted to be close to you and your abs and your body. I mean, it's all normal
Or
stuff.
send him like an audio text that's just.
You mean a Vox? The way that all
Call me
wrestlers
back,
communicate
bro.
with each other?
Is it a Vox? Do they
Vox
still
is
do
awesome
that?
because you can like talk to people overseas and it's free.
Yeah.
And it's like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, that's how all wrestlers communicate with each other.
Oh.
I didn't know that was.
It's a shoot.
I know, but I know that Vox was a thing. I didn't know that it was still a thing.
With wrestlers,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Awesome.
That's how I talked to Carlo Cannon.
When he was shopping at the Superstore.
Yeah.
So a lot of inside jokes flying around here that I do not get.
When they asked him to do his American accent, like he's Carlo Cannon, but in order to like make sure that people understand him, he says Carlo Cannon.
Yeah.
So his go-to like sentence is shopping at the Superstore. It's like,
good.
that's your poll? All right.
That's very American.
I was gonna say I feel
That's
like
very
the only people I do talk to on Voxer are wrestlers, but that's kind of what my life has become or wrestling related people. So yeah. Mm-hmm. I have no life. But let's talk about this main event.
Let's do it. So we can talk about predictions. Not yet.
Finn Balor and Apollo Crews versus Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin.
Very good. Good match.
It was a great match.
Ends with the, and I believe I'm pronouncing this correctly, the Coquina Clutch.
You're getting there. You're better than Hobo. The Coquina Clutch, yeah.
I thought that Samoa Joe just gave Finn Balor rabies because he was foaming at the mouth at the end of this.
He did give him rabies. He
Okay.
gave him the Samoan Joseph rabies. He bit him. He put him in the clutch and he bit him lightly on the shoulder. Yeah, just a little nibble, just like
Cool.
just a little.
What?
That's horrible. It's a horrible sound you made. No, never do that again. That's right in my head.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
do.
You have to wear these.
Get in your head. We got to see a lot of Apollo like showing some aggression and
With a big smile on
with a
it.
big smile on his face, but the heels.
I want him to break. I want him to be like.
We're gonna see that on
psychotic.
Sunday.
Ooh.
I think we're gonna see that
Sarah Lee got
Sunday.
so much crap for not being able to not smile. I don't see that coming to Apollo Crews.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I like how the heels played it a lot smarter, played a conservative tag team game, while the faces were just like the crowd wants them to do. They just wanted to rip the bad guys who wronged them apart, and it paid off in the long run.
Yeah.
It was great. It was fun. Like the dudes, Apollo and Baron, just totally brawling to the floor.
Yeah.
I want to see their match.
And it's very concerning to know whether Finn will be at full strength for the title match because he has to get a lot of rabies shots now.
Yeah.
They're gonna put him down.
It's like a series of like 36 shots you have to get when you get the rabies.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Hopefully he does that before they get on the plane, so you can just like kind of sleep it off.
Yes.
Well, what if like one of the shots is accidentally like
It's accidentally super rabies.
I was gonna say like some mutated version of like the rabies vaccine, and then he just turns into this like superhero demon.
Okay.
Like we've never seen him before.
One, I'm not sure that's how the rabies shots works.
Oh.
Two, if you're going to a place that treats you for rabies, why would they keep that syringe around?
You never know when you'll need it.
Yeah.
I don't think they know
use
about
this
it.
one. I'm going to put this one on the table, but do not use it.
They don't
It's like
know
the big
about
red
it.
button.
They have no idea about it. It's just like there, and it's like how Peter Parker got bit by that spider.
No, it's like let's make a deal. It's like one of these may be the cure,
Yeah.
or one of them might be the direct
We're just going to keep
opposite.
jabbing you with syringes. You tell us when you're better.
It's 37.
No.
It's like an allergy test, right?
I think it's like the nurse is distracted. They're like, "Oh, so you're Finn Balor? Yeah, let me get this thing
That's
over."
what I would do,
Oh, okay.
yes.
In chat, they call me Ronnie D in chat. Kayfabe, the bite turns him into the demon, like a Samoan demon.
Oh, yeah. He
He's
comes
just-
out with like
next
He's a weird
week-
Samoan.
Next week we just see him like laying in the ring still, and like you think he's dead because there's like foam and stuff, and then he just like does the ring style like jerks out, and he turns into the demon.
And he like flies to London because it's next week,
Yes.
or he sprouts giant demon wings and it'd be like that'd be a really cool just boss entrance.
Or
Well, then that would be like
his demon like headdress thing with the
The
dreadlocks. It turns into a helicopter.
All right, now we're getting into.
Go Balor copter.
I was like, now we're getting into
Bro,
flipping
your head
wacky
looks like
races.
a helicopter. Nope.
This is pretty good.
Okay.
Kathy will not stop dropping the hot club bangers this week. I love it.
The sweet beats. Kathy, sweet beats. Kelly.
That's her name.
I hate beats.
Crazy
SB.
legs. Sweet beats.
Anywho,
Yeah, SB for short.
so excited for Takeover
Oh, is
London.
that, I work for SB Nation. Is that what it stands
Sweet
for?
Beat Nation. I'm sorry to have to tell you like this,
That's awesome.
but it's actually
Love
Sweet
it.
Beat Nation.
Love it.
That's your CEO.
Makes a lot of sense.
Next week
predictions?
is going to be amazing. Yes, we need to get into predictions fast-ish, and news if we have any.
I mean, the news is very light. It's all just sort of preparation for next week.
Whoa, this is my first time experiencing
The
this.
full light show.
This is terrifying.
Pretty great. So
For getting abducted by a UFO. So.
Thank God.
the news has to do the predictions, so
take
we
us
don't
to
need to hit it.
London.
We don't need to hit the sound gimmick. Sami Zayn is returning to action overseas
Tomorrow
and
night.
His first match is going to be against Finn Balor
For the
What?
title.
for the title.
What?
Yep.
It's a house show.
And then on Saturday, the only two things we have got confirmed is that his comeback match tomorrow night, and then Saturday he's in a triple threat with Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. So he's right back in the thick of the
Right
title
back in the
picture.
main
Whoa.
title picture.
Are we going to talk about the NXT panel that they're doing too?
Oh,
That was
the
announced.
William Regal and Finn Balor doing a panel.
Was it just them two?
That's all that I saw advertised.
Oh.
They'll probably stick Robbie Brookside on there.
I would love for him to be on there, but I mean,
Is that going to be on the network though?
probably eventually.
Yeah.
All of the panels
Eventually
usually
they show up, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a couple months later. But in terms of TakeOver, there are only 5 announced matches. For us in the U.S., it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific.
Pre-show
So
starts at 11:30.
11:30 or 2:30.
Pacific, yeah.
And-
TBD on when we're doing the AfterBuzz show.
I would like to do it earlier, but
I would like to do it earlier too.
cool, nailed
Can
it.
we do it live after the show?
I would like to.
Cool.
Because that's going to be a weird thing for me, because it would be NXT, the Jessica Jones finale, and then Breaking Ground, which is just completely weird.
Hey, do you know that Jessica Jones ended a while ago? Like, it's all on Netflix, so I don't know.
Do you know how this network works? Kathy, you've been at this network longer than most people at this network.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
Actually, just a quick Jessica Jones spoiler.
Zach in the booth is the lead of that show, so he's not going to let you talk.
Jessica Jones was actually the name of the scientist.
All right.
Okay.
Jessica Jones would be really good in the women's division down at NXT.
She would
I feel
dominate.
like
Her
she
and Nia Jax
definitely
would sell
have
at
a shot.
WrestleMania. What I was
Very
going
strong.
to say was, we have 5 announced matches. We don't have a pre-show match yet. So,
Do we get pre-show matches at that? I don't think we
there
do.
is one, but I don't think they've aired them yet.
Okay.
Like they have like a warm-up match for the crowd.
Okay.
But they don't usually get taped. But I figure maybe they might do the same thing they did at New
the
York.
pre-shows like on the network
Yeah.
kind of thing.
They might do a thing like they did in New York where we had the episode of NXT and then take over,
Yeah.
and then they show that after.
Yeah.
So our 5 matches.
I miss the days when they used to have like Renee Young doing a pre-show for
She
the
might
takeovers.
still do that.
Yeah.
But now it's I think it's Brennan leads them. But yeah. So our first match on the card: Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Straight up revenge match. What do we think of this match? How do you think it's gonna go?
I think it's going to be another good match, continuing Baron Corbin's streak of impressive matches.
I was gonna say I think that Baron Corbin's gonna win and Apollo Crews is going to break.
Gonna freak out.
Psychotic break.
That's a good prediction. Yeah.
Because I don't he mentioned, or Apollo mentioned in his promo talking to Finn, once I beat Baron, I'm going to come after that. With Sammy coming back into the picture.
He's gonna be like, "Yo, I used up all my minutes. Overages suck." That would break anyone.
It would. So I think with Sammy coming back into the picture, as well as I don't think this thing with Samoa Joe will be done.
Yep.
He and Baron are gonna go a couple more times.
I feel like it's not out of the question that I think this would be a good time for Apollo to lose and break, and I think Cathy's prediction is really cool and interesting. I don't think it would be out of the question for Apollo Crews to win, this to be Corbin's swan song before he goes up to the main roster.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, at this point in NXT at least, people aren't really going to buy him as a threat to win, like not a serious threat to win the NXT title as good as he is, as good as he's gotten better and better all the time. He's had a bunch of title matches and he's never won it, so I think now's the time for him to go up.
I don't know where he would fit on the main roster, though.
Well, there's certainly some spaces.
There's a couple, but yeah.
You could use another mid-card heel. You can always use another mid-card heel.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
Baron Corbin. All right. Emma with Dana Brooke versus Asuka. How long do you think this match will go? Do you think they'll give him like a full 15?
I think like between 8 and 12.
I think that's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And does
Depends
anybody
on-
not have Asuka taking it?
I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't win, but yeah, Asuka's going to win.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be
Asuka
awesome.
wins.
It's going to be great because Emma's great. And Asuka's great.
That's great. NXT Women's Championship, Bayley versus Nia Jax. We already started talking about it a little bit. I honestly think that it could go either
Oh,
way.
it definitely could go either way. What I want to happen, I've already said on the show. But
Yeah, I think Nia Jax wins. Yeah.
Yes,
Queen Nia! We bow to you.
Yeah. Slay Queen Nia! But if they want her to make a huge splash, this is the way to do it.
It's a leg drop is her
Yeah.
finisher.
I'm sorry. If they want her to make a huge leg drop, this is the wait. You we haven't had somebody in the women's division
Drop
yet.
that sick beat, yo.
Like
No.
a leg. We haven't had a women's wrestler come in and just annihilate all the way to the title yet. And I think it would be sweet for Nia to
You
do
mean
it.
slay all the way to the
Slay
top.
all the way to the top. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening?
Are you breathing? NXT Tag Team titles: Dash and Dawson versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy with the lovely Carmella. Rumors indicate that she's fabulous.
It's true.
Toki's like, what do the rumors say? What do you guys think?
This is my job.
I would like to see Enzo and Cass take it, and there be a feud between Dash and Dawson continue.
We'd all like to see Enzo and Cass take it, but I don't think they will.
I don't want them to.
Enzo's going to be stuffed in the overhead compartment.
Enzo and Cass are one of those teams that don't need a title.
They don't need it. I
no,
just want
they
them to
don't.
have it. You know?
No, it's a nice accomplishment to have, but with the seemingly brand fluidity, I don't think there's anything that could stop them from coming back down once they debut on the main roster to
Yep.
pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all of these matches so far are going to be good matches.
Oh yeah.
So
continuing Takeover streak of everything.
So before we talk more about the main event, does anybody think we're going to get a surprise match? Does anybody think Sami Zayn is going to do more than just come out and say, "Hey, I'm back"?
I don't think it would be out of the question to get a surprise match, to get a bonus match.
Aside from Sami Zayn, who would you want to see?
Maybe the debut of Elias Sampson or
Re-debut.
Re-debut. Ty Dillinger. I'm always down to see more Ty Dillinger.
He's a perfect 10.
Vaudevillains aren't doing anything on that.
Maybe Gable and Jordan versus Hype Bros.
Maybe Gable and Jordan versus anybody.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been doing a lot of the respect matches. If they had another team, like maybe Lucha Dragons, come down. Oh no, because Lucha Dragons would be flying from the pay-per-view
from Boston.
Yeah,
it's not that far a flight, and it's a couple days.
And if they have to do SmackDown, then that's a long night. They would have to finish SmackDown and just get on a plane immediately.
I mean, no one has to do SmackDown.
If you're the champions, maybe you do. See, yeah. What about you, Cathy? Anybody specifically? Jordan Gable.
Yeah.
They're just the bee's knees, ain't they?
Yeah. I just wanna be their friend.
See, I want to see more different types of catapults from Jason Jordan. Our
shoes
the shoes.
Start moving into trebuchets.
That's another sweet shoe brand. That's actually a European exclusive shoe brand.
Yeah.
Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. Is there any way that this goes where Samoa Joe leaves with the championship?
Actually, yeah.
I think that he will.
Really? Not expecting this.
I think it's a toss-up for who's going to win, and I wouldn't be surprised. This was my fantasy booking, which I'm just going to say for a second. My fantasy booking would be, so we have Finn Balor, Samoa Joe at TakeOver. Finn Balor is about to win, and then Samoa Joe brings in his buddies, like the guys we had rumors about being at the Performance Center a couple weeks back.
Austin Aries and Gunner?
I wasn't gonna name names, but he has some buddies come in and help him out.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, "Sorry about your dang fortune," but
that's good.
The only thing that I was pretty convinced that Samoa Joe is looking like a good bet to win the title, but the only thing that gave me pause is how this episode of NXT ended.
He's choked out Balor twice, so yeah, that's another reason why you would think.
But I think that again, like with the other thing, like with Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, I think this is a good time for Finn to drop the title.
Or what if Finn drops the title because Finn looks like he's really strong going into this match, then Samoa Joe is about to lose, but Apollo, who was defeated earlier in the night by Corbin, blames Finn Balor for everything that's been going on, comes out, distracts somehow.
Isn't that what just happened? Why Joe turned on Finn? Because he blamed him for everything?
Yeah.
But it's more of a psychotic
But I think
thing.
that if Joe wins the title, then you have strong babyface Apollo Crews ready to face heel Samoa Joe, because Finn will be like...
Oh, I don't want Apollo Crews in the...
Oh, do you think that maybe Finn wasn't answering Apollo's calls because Apollo kept accidentally calling Demon Balor?
What, if Balor has two phones?
Yeah, of course he has two phones.
Or he just doesn't get reception when he's in hell.
Right.
No matter what happens, takeovers have a wonderful reputation
awesome
of surprising us no matter what we may expect.
The entrances are just going to be 10 times
huge.
better, and yeah.
It's going to be great. We're going to be watching it live. We don't know when we're going to be taping it yet. So make sure to stay tuned to our Twitters when we get more information. Hi, Joe. So please, Cathy Kelley, do you want to go first, or do you want to have...
Well, I was
Bill.
going to say, first off, before we get to all of our Twitters, make sure to continue the conversation with us on our YouTube page. We love seeing all of your comments. Please take a second to rate us, subscribe to us on iTunes, and tell all your friends, because that's how we grow here. We want to continue getting more interviews and guests and bringing you the show. So please support us there. And in the meantime, continue the conversation on Twitter. Where can we find you, Bill?
Please follow me on Twitter at Sundown Motel. Please check out Cage Side Seats and SB Nation's weekly wrestling podcast, Rudo Radio. You can subscribe to that on iTunes and CageSideSeats.com, SBNation.com/wrestling.
And you can follow me on Twitter at SoapboxMark, doing a whole bunch of fun stuff here at the network and other networks. Jedi Alliance, Video Game Movie Anatomy, the Jessica Jones After Show, Breaking Ground, Moonbeam City ends tomorrow. NXTeam.Spreadshirt.com is where you get our NXT Team merchandise. It's wonderful. It's great quality, and I'm a big fan of it, and I love making it just as much as I love wearing it. Also, I may be making a fun appearance on another show that I can't quite talk about yet. So if you follow me on Soapbox Mark,
It's Real Housewives.
it is Real Housewives, but I'm not going to say which city yet. So follow me on Twitter if
Scranton.
you. Damn it! Follow me on Twitter to find out more about that, Cathy Kelley.
I was going to say that the NXT Team shirts are soft, but in the right way.
Hey.
So, you can follow me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley and on Instagram at Cathy Kelley. Also, check out our Raw After Show from this week because it was a ton of fun. And make sure to subscribe to more AfterBuzz shows. See you guys next week for TakeOver London!
Bye bye. It's good. Try to be a bad hobo.
It was good.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Bye.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.